you can have good depth. Not perfect depth. You can have good depth. I've got pretty good depth, and I've got a computer. I've been going on all these videos about what I do with my computer and how I get good depth, but the actual technique of getting the depth is not limited to having a computer. It's a technique that involves measuring the spherical energy from this side and the energy from this side, and it all adds up. I've actually done one with standard EQs. Standard EQ, pretty good depth. That's using the measuring positions from the spherical. That's my special computer FIR one, and this is the IIR one. Now, tonally, they're 98% the same, because the FIR has a lot more resolution. FIR, standard. And I've got some graphs. So, standard EQ, if you assume the FIR is more accurate in magnitude, it's about 2 dB spread. And I hear it as about a change from that to about that in things that should be centered and how they stay in the center. So IIR, it's like a thing that's kind of there. FIR, it's like a laser. Now, that is just shifting from left to right. Now, the actual depth from standard EQ changes. Standard, you'll have this slight in and out feeling, but it's still way out there. FIR is like you have a sheet of plexiglass out there that you've stuck all the instruments on. And standard EQ, it's like you had a block of plexiglass that the instruments sit in, and they're out there. So there's a block of plexiglass out there, and some of the instruments are in and out of that space. It's a pretty chunky piece. It's like you projected light through a thick 4-inch piece of plexiglass. And that's when I've dialed in the time alignment just beyond belief to match my FIR curve. And then the standard EQ, because of the phase differences in the change, and I have a graph, you can actually measure, I can compare real life data from the difference between what I believe is perfect to standard. So there'll be this variance in and out, and the variance left and right. So instead of a laser line at a laser position on the bonnet, you have a fuzzy line sideways and front to back somewhere on the bonnet. Now, I could end that video here and say, well, go and enjoy your depth. But I've also did one test where I measured from the headrest, wavy face, average, seems to be pretty popular, of the same conditions, and I got this. So there's graphs. First of all, the left and right pull is the magnitude changes. And for some reason, when you do wavy face for this side, like here, or you compare it to spherical, there's a fair bit of difference. It's close, fair bit of difference. And if you compare wavy face here to spherical over there, there's a hell of a lot of difference. And that is how shit goes everywhere. So, perfect tune, little laser line, wavy face. Now, if you're not a critical listener like myself, you just play wavy face, and you just get that same old feeling, the feeling that I probably had for, a year ago, and then 10 years before that. Just this feeling that the middle's here, middle's there, that's the middle. And, you sort of get pulled into this illusion that some instruments are pinpoint, but some are pinpoint here, and some are pinpoint here, and some are pinpoint there, and the same instrument can be pinpoint everywhere because of the frequency change in the instrument or the tonal makeup of an instrument. It might have 4 harmonic points, a first and a second and a third, whatever, in the actual instrument, and of course the notes are changing, so it's constantly going left and right throughout this fake center because your EQ's out. And EQ's not out because you failed to do EQ properly, because you were only doing wavy face. So the mistake was not your mistake. The mistake was the technique's mistake. And there's also in the phase graph, so it's a double banger. You're getting the magnitude mistakes, and you're also getting phase mistakes, because one of my methodologies of believing that phase is perfect from your speakers, and it only changes on a graph. It doesn't change in your ears, it doesn't change in your experience. Here's the perfect phase, perfect middle, perfect stage, everything. I've proven that I do no phase changing, and it doesn't matter what the graph says. That's the wrong phase that has been given to you by a standard EQ, and there's nothing you can do about it. You can't unphase it, because those measurements are based on sound bouncing and hitting you and doing all sorts of crap to the graph. It's not undoable in EQ, because all those phase decisions were made from a microphone hearing pressure from everywhere, right? So there's a phase change graph for you, and there's a magnitude graph for you. And this is actually spherical normal EQ now, which is at least 90% better than wavy face. So perfect spherical, standard EQ spherical, standard EQ wavy face. Yeah, anyway, I was trying to make a nice simple video for you. I hope those graphics help out, but you can do spherical and get 90% perfect depth if you're lucky. Alright, catch you later. Yep, we're at the SQ spot again. It's a lovely little valley down to the river there. Anyway, retake.